Hey guys, it's Monday. Welcome back to another Sunday haul. So I figured I'd just pop on quickly and do a quick intro. I used to do this, and lately I've just been kind of getting right into the unboxings, but I like having a little intro and an outro to the video. So I just figured I'd say hi, and I actually just dropped my son off at school. It's super early in the morning. It's 7:30. I'm actually at Target, so I dropped him off around 7:15. And we had to be up at like 6, which I am not used to at all. He's not used to at all, so we're gonna have to get on like a different schedule. But it's gonna be interesting because I haven't had, I've been with my son like 24/7 for a year, so it's gonna feel weird to just have like a whole day to myself. And I mean, weird in a good way, I guess. I'm gonna miss him. It's kind of bittersweet, but yeah, it's just time to get back to real life. He's been so lonely. He missed his friends, and he's an only child, so he really hasn't had anybody except for us, and we haven't been like getting together with a lot of people over this past year. But now that we're vaccinated, that's definitely gonna change. We did get our second Moderna vaccine the other day on Friday, and this weekend was a little rough. We didn't feel so well, so that's why you didn't see a Sunday haul yesterday. I mean, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. I felt mostly really tired, run down. I did have body aches the next day, like where I felt like I did like a full body workout. My arms and legs hurt, kind of everything hurt. A little bit of a headache, but I didn't have a fever or anything. So it wasn't so bad, and we got through it, and I am just so happy. In another week and a half, I will be considered fully vaccinated, and it's just a good feeling, So yeah, I'm gonna go enjoy myself, do some shopping, and I will see you guys in a bit. Good morning, guys. I just got my Colourpop order over the weekend when I wasn't feeling so well after my COVID shot, and I had ordered some of their new cheek palettes, and also they were running a deal on their site where if you bought a cheek palette, you'd get one of the little quad eyeshadow palettes. So I got a couple of those as well. So I thought we could just open everything up and do some quick swatches. So let's go ahead and start out with the cheek palettes. I got 3 different ones. I got Cookie Cluster, Sugar Frosted, and Extra Glazed. So let's see what these are all about. I really love their full-size pressed powder blushes, so I'm thinking these are probably like the same type of formula. And each one looks like it comes with kind of a highlighter as well. So let's just check these out. This one is Cookie Cluster, and it is really beautiful. You have those warm kind of peachy shades. All right, so let's start with the highlighter. Ooh, this is actually a Super Shock shadow. I didn't even realize that. I didn't really read the website too carefully. Okay, so you have a Super Shock highlighter in here. Did I say eyeshadow? I meant highlighter. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm just gonna build that up a little bit. There we go. Okay, that is stunning. And then we also have like a satiny finish blush, which is really pretty. It has just a little bit of a glow. It's not a shimmer. Like I said, I think it's just more kind of satiny. Let me just build that up a little bit too. These are sheer, but that's really not a bad thing when it comes to blush, because usually I kind of want to build them up a little. When you're more fair like I am, I feel like buildable blush is definitely a good thing. And then down here, it looks like these 2 blushes are matte finish. So we have this one. Yeah, definitely sheer. Let me just do another layer so we can really see the color. And then this one down here. I mean, these look really bright in the pan, but they're actually not. I mean, this one, it starts out looking kind of bright, but I mean, they fade super fast in a swatch. All right, let me just do one more swipe here. They're a little bit powdery for sure, but I'm not sure how they're going to apply to my cheeks, so I'm excited to test them out. So that one is Cookie Cluster. Next up we have Sugar Frosted, and there was like a little speck of one of these other colors that I'd gotten into the highlighter, so that's what that is. But this one is definitely more on the neutral side. So let's do the highlighter first. And then again, we have more of like a satiny finish blush.
This is so like buttery and creamy feeling. It almost feels like a cream. The third shade, I mean, these really do not swatch well. So I'm kind of interested to see how they apply to my cheeks. And also, these being sheer, I mean, if you looked at these in the pan, you would definitely think that they were a lot deeper as far as the colors go. So anybody who has a medium to deep skin tone, I think, is going to have issues with these showing up, I feel like. Unless they apply differently than they're swatching, but I mean, they just seem like there's hardly any pigment to them. And again, not that that's a bad thing, I think, for somebody like me with my skin tone because I can just build it up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, looking at like these swatches next to this palette, they definitely look a little bit more lackluster than they do in the pan. All right, and then last but not least, we have Extra Glazed. And compared to the first one, which was more peachy, this one is definitely a little bit more of a cool toned pink color story. Here we have the Super Shock. This one looks a lot like the one in the palette that I just showed, the neutral one. And here's like the more satiny blush. This one feels almost like a cream. The others feel like a powder, but this one has a very, very creamy texture to it, almost like a powder to cream. It's really interesting. Like you can see on my finger, it definitely looks powdery, but then it just kind of melts right into your skin. It's pretty cool, actually. And then for the matte shades, we have the same story with this one. It's a little bit more sheer. And then here's the last color. All right, so this one is Extra Glazed. Next up, we have the two eyeshadow palettes. I got Citrus Fizz and Cream Soda. So let's check these out. So this one's Citrus Fizz, and this one is just very, very neutral, kind of brown tones. There was one that was kind of like almost a berry color story that was so beautiful, and I couldn't get that one. It was sold out, unfortunately, but I thought that was definitely the prettiest one. So I'm just gonna do kind of smaller swatches for this so I can fit both of them. I'm just gonna put them kind of side by side. So here's the two shimmer shades. And then here's the two mattes. Pigment on these is really, really nice. And those matte shades felt so rich and velvety, especially compared to Colourpop's usual formula. I feel like this is almost like a step above that, and I normally really like their formula, but these feel fantastic. This one's called Cream Soda, and this one, the matte shades are very light. Like this is a good transition, but I don't really have anything deeper for my outer corner. So let's swatch the shimmers first. This shade is absolutely stunning. Kind of like a rosy brown. Oh my gosh, look at the shine on that one. That one, so pretty. And that one. So yeah, these swatch amazingly. So again, we have Citrus Fizz on this side and Cream Soda over here. And these are absolutely beautiful. Love it. So anyway, guys, I would love to hear your thoughts. If you've tried these blush palettes especially, I would love to hear your thoughts on them because they really swatched pretty badly. So I'm not quite sure how they're going to apply. I will definitely try them out this week, but I'd love to hear your take on those. And also, you know, these eyeshadow palettes look really pretty. So let me know your thoughts, guys. I also just got my order from Joah, and I had purchased their new Chasing the Sun eyeshadow and bronzer palette, and they also have these Golden Days Sunless Tanning Drops for face and body. So I believe they come in two different shades. I got the light medium one. There's also, I think, a medium to deep. They also sent me this mask, which is really cute. So anyway, let's go ahead and open up the palette. I'm not really going to open this just because I don't want to put Sunless Tanner on my hand like in a weird blob. You guys won't really be able to see much anyway because it's just like a clear liquid, but I can definitely let you guys know how this works out down the road. So anyway, this palette is called Chasing the Sun. It says eyeshadow and bronzing palette. Create multiple looks from a luminous natural glow to a sun-kissed bronze with this 8-pan multi-purpose palette for face, eyes, and cheeks. All right, so here's a look at the outside. It comes in like a plastic compact. And then inside, I thought this looks so pretty on the website. You have like these really pretty patterns in the bronzers, and then in the highlighter it says Sun and Soul, and then you have the 5 eyeshadows here. The only thing I'm not crazy about with the eyeshadows is that they're all kind of a little bit more deep and smoky type shades. I kind of wish they had one that was just slightly lighter, like these two shimmers especially. I feel like I don't wear a lot of really deep shimmers on my lid. If I use deeper colors, it's normally a matte shade unless I'm doing a smoky eye. So that's a little bit disappointing for me, just that there are those 2 deep shimmers. Maybe one would have been a little better. But anyway, let's go ahead and do some swatches. All right, so I think I'm going to start with the face products and work my way back, because I think I'm going to probably photograph these afterwards for my Instagram page as well. So I just like the colors to kind of be in the order of the palette. I really hate to destroy this. I loved the little embossing on there. All right, so yeah, I usually start with the back of a palette and then work my way this way so that the very first shade is the first one. So that's why I do it that way. There's a highlight, super pretty. All right, this picture isn't actually disappearing that easily, so that's good. So here's the lighter bronzer, and I am loving the tone of this one. That is just like the perfect neutral bronze for my skin tone. I think that is stunning. And you can also use this as a crease color as well. And then same thing with this one, even though it's a little bit deeper and it's actually kind of a reddish bronzer, which I like, but it might be a little too deep for me, so I can also use this one as an eyeshadow too. It's actually not even super dark. I'm just going to put a little bit more and just build it up a tiny bit. These feel so smooth, and there's like zero fallout. There's no powderiness going on. Like when I was swirling my finger around in the pan, just no kick up, no dust. Really, really nice formula. All right, let's move on to the shadows, and we'll start with these first. Wow, this color is beautiful. Even though I said like I don't normally wear dark shimmers on my eyes, when I want a smoky eye, that is just going to be stunning. It has a little bit of a shift to it. It kind of looks navy blue in the pan, but I don't know what it's shifting to exactly. Maybe like a purple. It is gorgeous. All right, next we have this coppery shade. And the formula on these feels wonderful too. I mean, really, I think Joah's eyeshadows have come a long way since they first started. Okay, then we have the gold, which is probably the shade I think I would wear on my lids the most, like just for every day. That one is also so beautiful. Next we have the deep burgundy matte shade. Whoa, this one is so pigmented. Sometimes really dark shades like this are so patchy, and look at that. And then last but not least, these are really impressive as far as the swatches. So let me just go around here so you can see the whole thing. Yeah, this palette is gorgeous. It has those really beautiful kind of bronzy vibes. Again, I feel like the tones are a little bit darker for like a summertime palette, but I still really like it, and the formula seems amazing. So I would love to hear from you guys down below if you've tried this palette already. I don't believe it's available at CVS. I was actually there the other day and I didn't see this, and I could have sworn on the website it said that it was a website exclusive when I ordered it. So I think you do have to go to Joah's site, but I'll link it down below. And also, if you guys would like to hear an update on the self-tanning drops, I can let you know that as well. Oh, I also got these lip glosses from Joah as well. I completely forgot about them. They were in a different spot than the palette. They had kind of rolled off to the side. So I got 3 different shades to try out. These look so pretty, so I'm just going to swatch them on my hand really quick. The first one we have is Glazed. So there's that one. These are a little bit more on the sheer side for sure. And they also don't have a scent to them either. And then this next one is called Sun Bum. And that one is beautiful. I really like that one. And then this one's called Milky Way, and this one looks like it has a little bit of shimmer in it. And there's that one. So I got really neutral colors. I can't remember how many shades there were actually on the website, but I just thought these all looked super pretty. So just wanted to swatch those really quick. Next up, I already showed this on my Instagram stories, but I haven't shown any swatches of it yet. So this is the new Kaleidos Flower Punk collection, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. They sent it in this box. It kind of looks like a jewelry box, and it has a little coloring book and some stickers in the top section. And then in the next drawer, we have lip products that come in these beautiful tins. So we're going to be swatching those for sure. And then down here, we have a lip mask and also the palette itself. So let me just show you the palette. This packaging is super heavy. I mean, all of their stuff just always feels so luxurious, and they just do such an amazing job on the packaging. So look at that. And then the lid has a really strong magnet, and when you lift it off, it just completely comes off, so it's not hinged. And here's a look at the actual palette itself. I mean, these shades are just stunning. And I absolutely love their formula. So we will be swatching this for sure. So let's take a look at just the lip mask really quick, and we'll just go over that really fast. It's called the Blue Agave Softening Lip Mask. It says it's cruelty-free and vegan. And then here's a quick look at the ingredient list. And just like with everything, the packaging is so cute. So let's open it up. I just want to see what it feels like. Ooh, it has a really rich texture. It reminds me a lot of the Milani lip mask that I really like. It just has this really soft and creamy feel. It doesn't seem to have a fragrance to it either, which is wonderful. So just wanted to show you that really quick. Next, let's check out these lip products really quickly. So I believe these are called lip clay. So they're sort of like a matte liquid lipstick kind of texture. And these boxes that the collections come in are so pretty. And you have one that has deeper and kind of more alternative colors. Like I think one of them is a turquoise. And then this one is more nude colors. So you have those right there. So let's go ahead and just swatch these really quick, and then we'll go ahead and get into the palette. So the first shade is Cactus Flower. Ooh, these are such an interesting texture. They have that really lightweight, kind of whipped, moussey feel to them. And this one's called Agave. And then we have Mahogany. And then the last shade is Dahlia. And then for the more neutral shades, we have Adore. And this one is Dune. Ooh, I really like this one a lot. It's kind of like a Your Lips But Better color. And this one is Terra. Kind of like a pumpkin shade. Really pretty. That's going to be gorgeous for fall. And then the last one is Sienna. All right, so there are all the lip clay shades. Definitely this one is way more my vibe than that one. All right, so let's go ahead and swatch the palette. Here's another close look at all the shades really quick. All right, so the first shade is Earthship. Next we have Sungazer. Oh man, that is so beautiful. Next up we have Golden Age. These are swatching so nicely. And then we have chlorophyll. And then we have peach soju. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that second word. Next up, we have the shade Nouveau. And then stained glass. This one seems kind of like a topper. It's a little bit more sheer. I'm just going to do another layer. And then this one's called Aloe Cove. My swatches are getting a little bigger now too than they were at the beginning, so sometimes they kind of run out of steam part of the way through to kind of just add a little bit more. And then last but not least, we have Mint Fever. Yeah, this is a really big swatch. I'm gonna have to pick up a little more. Okay, so there's the whole palette. What do you guys think? This is beautiful. I really don't think I have much like this in my collection as far as just the colors that are in here. I feel like if I cover up the yellow side, these shades look a lot like ones that I have in Mercury Retrograde, but then these kind of yellowy greenish shades are not really in that one. So it's almost like two different palettes. The style reminds me a lot of like Melt Cosmetics. So I just feel like this combination is pretty unique and different. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. If you've tried anything from this new collection, and if you're planning on picking it up, I would love to hear your thoughts. I also got a PR box from Juvia's place last week, and I did show this on my Instagram stories, but again, I didn't swatch anything, so I'm going to be doing that today. And in here we have 3 different bronzer duos. We also have the Bronzed Rustic palette, a lip liner, 3 liquid lipsticks, and 2 lip glosses. So as far as the bronzer palettes go, I am going to open them up and show them to you guys, but I'm not going to swatch the deeper ones. I actually have a big box that I'm getting ready to take over to a local women's shelter of makeup that, you know, I haven't used or that comes in PR that I'm not going to use or whatever. And I want to go ahead and include these in that box. I know in the past I have swatched things that I felt like, you know, wouldn't suit me, but I really wanted to show you guys what the swatches looked like. But I feel like nowadays there's so many swatches online that you can find. It just doesn't make sense for me to swatch it and then it's just going to sit in a drawer and rot basically. So it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to do that. So I'm just going to open up these palettes and we'll take a quick look. All right, so here is the light option, and I think this one is going to work perfectly for me, so this is definitely the one that I'm going to keep. It has a really beautiful, almost like cool to neutral bronzer on this side, and then a slightly deeper and slightly warmer one, but also it doesn't look super orange to me. Again, I haven't swatched them yet, so we'll see what they look like on my skin tone, but I do think that these look absolutely perfect, and both have a matte finish. And then we have the medium, which, like I said, I'm not going to swatch this one because I feel like this will not work for me. We have this shade right here, which again is a little bit more neutral. And then this one, which has a nice reddish undertone, which I think is going to be really pretty. And then we have tan. And this one obviously is not going to work for me either. So anyway, let's go ahead and just swatch the light one really quick and I'll show you guys what those colors look like. All right, so here's the first bronzer. Yeah, this is going to be so perfect. I really love these kind of cooler to neutral undertone bronzers. They just seem to work well for me, I think because I have cooler pink toned skin. And then let's see what this side looks like. And even this one, it's definitely warmer, but it's not super orangey. It also doesn't have that like yellowy cast, which some of them tend to do. So I think both of these are super complementary and they're going to be great. So I think both of these are going to be absolutely beautiful. And I also wanted to mention that in addition to the bronzed collection, Juvia's Place does have a blushed collection. So she also has these, but in blush duos. So I am super excited for those. I'm definitely going to head over to the website and check it out. I also do have a coupon code for Juvia's Place too, in case you guys didn't know. It's Jen and it'll save you 10% off. All right, so next we have the Bronzed Rustic palette, and this one has really pretty summery shades. And again, in the blushed collection, I think that one has more pink tones in it. And again, I'm going to start with this shade and then just work my way back. All right, so here is the first shade. Oh my gosh, look at that pigmentation. And then we have a nice shimmer shade. Ooh, look at how pretty this is. Her shimmers are some of the best on the market. There's almost nothing like them. They just have so much like richness and depth to them. Next we have another matte shade. And then a bronzy shimmer. So gorgeous. Next we have a beautiful matte red orange. Oh my gosh, this is so pigmented. That is stunning. And then last but not least, we have a matte yellow orange. Just gonna add a little bit more. All right, guys, so what do you think of this palette? I love this. I love the bronzy vibes. I think this is definitely like such a fun summer palette. All right, so next let's check out the bronzed lip glosses. We have two different shades, Bronzed Sugar and Bronzed Honey. Oh, actually, that's kind of interesting. It says Bronzed Honey up here, but Bronzed Rose down here. And on the tube, it actually says Bronzed Rose as well. So I think it's actually supposed to be that. So let's see Bronzed Sugar first. The applicator is like a huge doe foot. And these have a really nice vanilla scent. All right, here's Bronzed Rose. Oh, that one has some nice pigmentation. So those are gorgeous. Next up, we have the Luxe Lip Liner in the shade Brownie. It's super creamy and pretty much effortless to draw, which is nice. Reminds me a lot of their eyeliners. Those are the same way. And then we have three lipsticks. We have Bronzed Toast, Bronzed Chestnut, and Bronzed Maple. So let's swatch these really quick. So these appear to be like a matte liquid lipstick formula. They have that same giant doe foot. And these also seem to have a vanilla scent as well. So that one is Bronzed Maple. And then this one is Bronzed Chestnut. And then we have Bronzed Toast. So those are the lip products from the Bronze collection. I'm not sure if this is everything or if they actually have more than just what they sent me, but I'm definitely going to go online and also check out the blushed collection. And also, if you are planning on ordering anything online, don't forget about my affiliate code as well. It is Jen and it'll save you 10%. I also just got the new Sigma Ambiance palette. I bought this the day that it launched and I was so excited for this one because these colors are just right up my alley. You guys know I love my neutrals and I just thought this looked so pretty because it has like the bronzy gold shades and then it also has some rosy tones too. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds when it comes to neutrals. So I figured we'd do some swatches. I'll just do a couple of live swatches first and then I'll show you the whole palette swatched out. So let's take a look at some of the shimmer shades first. So I'll pick up this one. This one looks beautiful. So the first one felt very creamy and then this one feels a little bit more dry. So I don't know if it's more of a topper. Let's take a look. So here's the first one, which, oh my gosh, just so foiled and beautiful. And then we have the drier one, which actually has a lot of pigment to it. Even though it does feel a little more dry, it's definitely not sheer like some of the toppers are. I think that just swatched beautifully. Let's just do a couple more. We'll do this shade Midas and this one called Candlelight, which looks like it has micro glitter. These are just so smooth. I really love Sigma's formula a lot. I think it's great. And then when it comes to the mattes, we actually have 7 mattes and 7 shimmers. So it's perfectly equal, which you don't see very often. So let's go ahead and swatch maybe this one and this one. Yeah, they're just as pigmented and velvety as ever. They feel really, really nice. And then let's try a couple of deeper shades. So we have this one and this one. All right, so that just kind of gives you a little idea of how they swatch. So now I'm going to go ahead and swatch the whole palette. I'll be right back and you can see all the shades together. All right, so here's the whole palette. I think it's swatched beautifully and I just am loving these shades, so I can't wait to play with it. And if you guys have already gotten this palette, I'd love to hear what you think of it, what your thoughts are. And also, if you'd like to see a video on this one, either with some looks or also just some comparisons with other palettes, let me know. If there are palettes that you think this looks really close to, let me know that as well, and I can always put that together. Hey guys, it's Wednesday. I got a package from CColor Cosmetics and they have 2 brand new palettes. I always get so excited when their new palettes show up at my door because they are always fantastic quality and they have so many interesting dupes. I feel like, I love Alter Ego, but I feel like they dupe Natasha Denona a lot, and I like that CColor dupes a lot of other different brands. We actually have a Jeffree Star dupe here, also a Huda Beauty dupe. So let's go ahead and just jump into some swatches. All right, so let's start with the first one, Purple Rain, and this is a Jeffree Star Bloodlust dupe, and I know a lot of you guys have told me that you don't support Jeffree Star, so this is just a great alternative, and I'm sure the formula is going to be great because it always is with CColor, so I figured I would just do a couple quick live swatches, then I'll show you the whole palette swatched out. So let's start with a couple shimmers. I'm really curious about actually these 2 shades right here. So we have Raincoat and Royalty. All right, so there's Raincoat. That one was a little disappointing actually when I picked it up. It kind of almost got hard pan right away. So that's not really something that I'm used to with seeing with CColor. But like I really have to kind of dig to get this shade to pick up. So I'm going to pick up a little bit more. All right, and then this one is kind of like a glittery topper type shade. Let's see if there's just some regular shimmers in this palette. Like this one, yep, Kingdom. This one feels easy to pick up. It feels like their normal shimmer formula. And let's do Lilac Dream. This one also feels like a regular shimmer. Okay, so I have much better luck with these for sure. These feel like CColor's regular formula. These just seem like they're kind of more special shades or a different type of texture. And then let me just do a couple of matte shades. I'll try Wanderlust and Forgiving. This green looks really pretty. Yeah, I mean, these feel like CColor's regular formula as well. When it comes to pigmentation, I don't think they're the most pigmented, but they're not sheer either. I think they're just a good happy medium where, if you want something a little bit less pigmented, you're good to go. Or if you want more pigment, they're very easy to build up on your eyes. So that's one thing that I really enjoy about CColor's formula. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just swatch the rest of the palette and I'll come back and let you know if there are any other like weird textures or anything. All right, guys, so here is the entire palette swatched out. So all in all, there are 3 of those topper shades. We have this one right here, and then we have this one, and then this one, which I already showed you in the live swatches. So other than that, this one, This orange is actually a shimmer, but it's not really shimmery. It's kind of more of a satin, but it has that really rich, buttery texture, and it is so pigmented. This one is super pigmented. And then when it comes to the mattes, most of them are pretty pigmented as well. But like I said, you can also build them up and just get maximum pigmentation just with like an extra layer. So far so good. I think this palette is really beautiful. All right, so then next up we have the Galaxy palette, and this one is a dupe for Huda Beauty's Mercury Retrograde. So I figured we'd do the same thing. We'll just do a couple of live swatches and then I'll show you everything all swatched out. So let's see what the formula is like. I definitely love this shade in the Huda palette. It feels very, very rich already, very easy to pick up. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Let's try this one. Look at the pigmentation. Wow. And these palettes are $10, by the way. And I also have a coupon code for CColor to save 10% off. So I will leave that on the screen and down in the description box. All right, let's do a couple more. I want to see this shade Stellar. Okay, so this one feels exactly like that first green shade I picked up in the Purple Rain palette, where it's kind of hard to pick up. It kind of gets hard pan, or not hard pan exactly, but like it's just really, really pressed into the pan. Like it's hard to actually get it on your finger. So it actually almost feels like a cream, which is weird. And then I'll just take this one. So yeah, you can see how that just kind of gives a very sheer wash of color, but then this one, you're back to like that full pigmentation. And then let's do a couple of matte shades. We have this pink, which is one of my favorite shades in the Mercury Retrograde palette. It's usually the one that I do for my crease. And then we'll try the mint green. Whoa, look how much pigment that picked up. I'm already, I think, having better luck with this palette than with the last one. They feel like a little bit dry picking them up, but I mean, you're getting a lot of color anyway. Look at that. Those are definitely more intense, I think, than the ones in the Purple Rain palette. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and swatch this and I will be right back. All right, so here's the Galaxy palette, and honestly, guys, I think the shimmer shades are definitely stand out in this one compared to the Purple Rain. They're all beautiful. This one, like I mentioned, I think it's actually a cream shadow, so it's a little bit more sheer. The rest of them have that really rich and buttery feel and are just so pigmented, and look at the shine on them. They're just gorgeous. The matte shades, while they do feel really dry when you pick them up in the pan, I think they have really nice pigmentation. I was shocked. I really wasn't expecting them to pick up as well as they did. And they go on really smoothly as well. So overall, really, really happy with this palette for sure. So overall, I'm really, really happy with this palette for sure. So I'd love to hear from you guys down below if you're planning on getting either one of these palettes. And if you do, please don't forget about my coupon code as well, because it'll save you an extra 10%. Hey guys, it's Thursday. I just got a package from Pixi Beauty and they sent over their On The Glow Blush Tinted Moisture Sticks. So these have actually been out for a while, but I feel like cream blush is definitely having a moment. So these are kind of just right on trend now. So it says, twist, swipe, and glow. Give a dash of color for a healthy glow for a look that's soft and sweet wherever you go. And they have 3 different shades. We have Juicy, Floor, and Ruby. So I figured we would just do some quick swatches. All right, so here's a look at the packaging, and they look kind of like little deodorant sticks almost. And let's just see. They have a twist up at the base, so you just kind of twist them like that. It pushes up the product. So this shade is Floor, so we'll just do this one first, because I'll just go across my arm this way. So this one is a really pretty cool tone pink. It's kind of like a bubblegum pink. And I'm curious to see how these feel. I want to say I tried one of these a long time ago, but I don't really remember like how I felt about it. So right now it feels a little bit sticky, which is something that I don't normally like when it comes to cream blushes. I usually like something that dries down right away, like the Milani ones or the e.l.f. And this one definitely feels a little sticky, but I'm just going to kind of leave it alone and see if it does dry down. And next up we have Juicy. This one looks like a really bright orange, but I'm guessing it's a little bit more sheer than it actually looks in the tube. Yeah, so when you first put it on, it looks like that, but then when you go to blend it, it shears out quite a lot. This one actually is really pretty. All right, and then the last one is Ruby. And I used to actually be really afraid of bright red cream blushes, but I found pretty quickly, because my mom used to love them. She used to wear the Bonnie Bell one that was in the little tube, and I quickly became obsessed with those too because there's something about the red, like once you shear it out, it looks so natural. It kind of looks like the same color that you would naturally flush, like if you went out in the cold. So there's all three. I'm just going to let this kind of dry for a little bit and see if it remains sticky or if it does dry down. All right, so it did actually seem to dry down a little bit, but it's still slightly tacky. So what I wanted to do is just try to apply some over it and see if it actually builds upon itself well, or if it's something that is gonna, like start to lift up the product underneath. So just adding a little bit more. It actually does seem to build on itself nicely. It's not getting like streaky or patchy, but it does have that kind of dewy feel. So if that's something that you don't mind, I think these colors look really, really gorgeous. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on these down below if you've tried them out, since they have been out for a little while. I'm guessing some of you have, and what your thoughts are on them as far as like how long they last and whether or not they do eventually dry down.